Good morning, everyone. My name is Tom Reitman. I'm with the California Association of REALTORS, and welcome to our webinar this morning titled, How the Best Teams Automate Contract to Close, and how solo agents can turn their CRM into a personal assistant. So you're going to learn a lot today about managing your business, and so hopefully you'll pay close attention and get a lot out of this. Just a couple notes real quick. First of all, the webinar is being recorded, so if you know somebody who wasn't able to make it or you have to duck out early, not to worry. You will get an email this afternoon with a link to the recording, but you will want to stick around for it if you can. And then also, if you've got that little taskbar that's sort of blocking your screen, you can minimize that. If you look at the top left of it, there's a rectangular orange box with a white arrow, and if you click on that, it'll minimize it. And then finally, we have quite a few, I think, over 300 registered for this webinar, so a big audience this morning. So you're in good company, but you are muted because otherwise there'd be a lot of chatter, and we do want your questions. So if you think of questions while you go, feel free to type them in the box, and we'll get to them as we can. Perhaps we'll answer them on the fly if that's possible, but if not, we'll definitely save time at the end to answer your questions. So let me, I'm not going to be presenting this morning. Let me introduce our presenter. His name is Dale Warner, and he is the Chief Operating Officer at Realvolve. And he oversees the daily operations, the sales, the marketing strategy, as well as the development of customer service initiatives. So he's got his hands in a lot of different areas in Realvolve. And he joined them back in 2016 as the VP of Sales. So he brings a vast background in managing startups and towards sustainable and consistent growth. So if you're looking to grow a business, Dale's the one to tell you how to do it. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the stage over to him. And Dale, the audience is yours.
Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate that. Very generous introduction. So
you're welcome.
I'm really excited to share some of the things that we've been working on here at Realvolve recently. And I'm really excited to share this information for people that are looking to grow a team. So I want to engage with you guys a lot today on the webinar. I don't like to just lecture at people. I want to bring in some of your feedback into the presentation today. So get your fingertips ready at the questions box, because I'm going to start asking some questions right now. It'll make this a lot more valuable for all of us if you guys can share some of your insights, the things that you're seeing, the things that you care about. The first thing I want to know is when you are looking to improve a system in your business, what is the outcome that you're most, or the goal or the objective that you're most likely to be seeking? So in other words, if you are trying to improve something, why are you improving it? I want to know, is it saving time? Is it because you want to make more money? Is it because you want to work less? Is it because you're trying to grow? What is the thing that you're trying to accomplish? Save money, make more money? What is it? So I see one response so far. Come on, guys. I'll give you a minute here. I'm going to be asking 5 or 6 questions like this because I really want to focus on the things that matter. Every group is a tiny bit different. So when you're looking to improve the systems in your business or doing projects in your business, usually what's that benefit you're looking for? So time savings, you're just trying to get better discipline, better organization, peace of mind, uniformity within your team, feeling of control, generally making progress. All right, so we've got saving time, saving money, better time efficiency, remove duplicity, streamline and automate, more engage with the community. So trying to stay top of mind with people, more money, make more money, grow with great time management, organized, improve results, looking for efficiency, leverage, okay. Discipline and grow my business, consolidate lead flow, okay. Lots of time, actually more efficiency and organization responses than we usually get. So this is good. All right. So I am going to make sure to refer to your responses as I go along. So I kind of thought about these, I've thought about these questions a lot, and I've asked these questions a lot. So I have worked some of this in already. But our goal here at Realvolve is to make real estate agents efficient with their things so they can be effective with their people. Now, this ties into making more money. It ties into being a better trainer for the people on your team. It ties into a lot of different things. And I'm going to touch on those here. But I really want to focus today on being efficient and getting systems in place, not because of a specific reason. There could be a lot of different reasons why you would want to get more efficient with your things. So I'm going to just overall be focusing on efficiency. And I want to tell this real quick story. I've shared this story a lot, but I bought this toy for my kids a couple of Christmases ago. It's called the Codapillar, and it teaches children how to code or how to engineer a process. And so what they do is put the segments of the caterpillar together in a specific order and then let it run across the floor. And each segment represents an activity, an action. So it goes straight, turn right, turn left, blink the lights. So it's a really fun toy. My kids and I love playing with it. We'll build these little courses on the carpet and then try to see if we can make the Codapillar go around the chair and still get to the end without any hiccups. And then we'll take it apart, put it back together again. So really, this is what Realvolve does for real estate agents in their real estate business. We want to make it as easy as possible to be able to engineer a process that is tailor-made to you and your business to help you get from point A to point B more efficiently so that you can run it over and over again. Just like this Codapillar toy, if you didn't change it, you can run it over and over again. It's going to get from point A to point B really well. So I want to talk about automation here because automation can be tricky. So automation a lot of times feels very robotic, and we don't want that. That's why I put my title slide here is how to automate without being robotic, even though it's not exactly what the title of the webinar was that we promoted. I think this is the right way to look at how to automate things in your business. And I have a theory on why a lot of real estate agents would say their current systems, their current CRM feels like work. We all feel like a slave to our CRM, as if it's a tyrant. Our calendar is a tyrant, it controls us. A lot of us get into the real estate industry because we like the freedom. And then we get all these systems and tools that are like tyrants that are just looming over us, telling us what to do at any given time. I want to show you today on the webinar how to automate without being robotic, how to make your systems feel like they're working for you, as if they're another assistant on your team, how to avoid some common pitfalls with automating things. And I want you to be able to walk away with some really cool ideas on what you can start doing now to grow your team. Now, automation has to be a work of art, or it doesn't work. A work of art meaning it needs to be anticipated. You and the people you're automating things with, think about an email or a text message. That email has to be anticipated. The people you're sending these things to, if it's completely automatic, they need to know you and they need to be expecting communication from you. It needs to be relevant. The message has to be valuable to them and fit within the context of your relationship with them. And it needs to be timely. Your message has to come at the right time and in the right way, by the way. So sometimes a text message or a Facebook message is more intimate than your current relationship allows for, and you have to be conscious of that. So I want to show you some really cool ways we can automate things and keep it anticipated, relevant, and timely. Now, just to set the stage, I want to tell you a little bit about Realvolve and how Realvolve works. Realvolve is a system built on our 4D automation platform. This is really what sets us apart from any other automation platform out there. It does work for you. It's anticipated, relevant, and timely between you and your clients, and it saves you time without requiring a lot of time. Now, the 2Ds that almost every system incorporates are time delays and specific dates. You can automate emails to go out, based on a given time delay. Wait 2 days, then send this email. Wait 2 more days, then send this email. Or you can say, send this email on Thanksgiving. We incorporate in decision points and previous things getting done so that it works a lot more like how you would work on a regular day-to-day schedule. You're making decisions all the time that change what needs to happen next. You have to wait until something gets done before you can continue on with the process. For example, if you are a listing agent, there's a bunch of things you can't do until you get photography back. Once you get the photography back from your photographer, now you can go update the MLS and print flyers and do all this other stuff you couldn't do before. If your automation system that you're using or your CRM schedules all of the stuff today that you can't do until next week, you stop trusting it. You're looking past things. You're still having to juggle stuff in your head. It's not all organized in the system. So we don't want that. We want everything organized in a system. So what we want to do when we're building automation, we want to think about the things that we do over and over again and lay the tracks or lay the foundation for that automation so that you can use it over and over again. That doesn't mean that we're not going to refine the automation. We are going to refine it, but we want to make sure it's in a really good place to be able to run over and over and over again. So one example, let's just think about leads and lead automations. The best scenario is that you already know what your default lead follow-up plan is, and you build it into an automation. Now, this can be a simple 3-step automation. It can be a 12-step automation. It can be complicated or it can be simple. But I want to challenge everybody listening today. If you don't have something that's automatically happening when a new lead comes in, do it this week. Before the end of the week, outline out a system of follow-up that you're going to put into, if you have a tool like BombBomb for your email marketing or MailChimp, or if you've got a current CRM that you're using, best option yet, if you're using Realvolve or if you're going to start using Realvolve, I want you to outline on paper or on a whiteboard a system of follow-up that you're going to do over and over again so that you can start refining it. One example of that would be, by the way, I build these automations all the time. Matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, I built one live on a webinar that I did. And based on all my research of lead conversion over the last 10 years, I put together a series of phone calls at specific times and emails at specific times. So as an example, every lead we know needs to be called within the first 5 minutes of them filling out a form. And then you're going to want some sort of an automatic email responder that just lets them know that you got their information. Usually you want to give them something of value. So for example, if you're working with a buyer lead, you're going to want to let them know what you can do for them. And you want to show empathy that you care about them and you want to know their story. You want to know, are they ready to buy now? Are they just doing some research? Are they trying to get ready to buy their first house? You want to know that. So you want to ask them questions like that in the first initial contact. So I would say phone call within 5 minutes, email right away, autoresponder. Then maybe another phone call later that day, no voicemail. And you would outline out things like that so that the next time a lead comes in, you just follow the plan. You've already thought about it. And again, the best scenario would be you have it built in to a system so you can run it over and over again. We're going to go more into that in just a little bit. The cool thing about Realvolve is, like I said, with this 4D automation, certain things happen automatically without you touching it, but other things wait for you to either make a decision or complete a task before it moves on to the next step. So something cool is you can have stop points or like way stations where the automation doesn't continue on until you engage with it. But with leads, for example, you can just be sending them a drip campaign for a week or 2 weeks that helps you not have to juggle that in your own mind. It would remind you and maybe even copy you on those alerts. So one really cool thing that Realvolve can do is it can send you a text message letting you know that it just followed up with a lead for you via email, so that you know you can follow along with the tracks and know exactly where your clients are at a given time. So I just want to walk through another scenario really quickly, and then I have another question for everybody. By the way, if you guys stay to the end today, I'm going to offer the one of my campaigns that I've built for lead conversion for free at the end. So it's a simple, effective, powerful little short and sweet lead conversion for buyer leads. Stay to the end and I'll share that with you, all the templates and everything. So something you can do with Realvolve, the reason why our 4D automation is so powerful is because everything is templated out ahead of time. These train tracks are built ahead of time. All the emails, the text messages that you're going to send to communicate have already been thought out. The even data entry can be templated out. So Realvolve can ask you to fill out certain pieces of information at certain times. So think about your team if you're on a team, or think about hiring your first assistant or your next office staff. How many things are you going to have to teach them? And how nice would it be to have a system that just told them what to fill out when? And reminded you what to fill out when. Reminded you what needs to happen next. Watch this scenario. Follow through this scenario with me real quick. Let's just say you're the buyer's agent working with a buyer and their spouse. It's time to do a home inspection. And we know, so let's just assume we already know who all these people are. You already know who the inspector is. You made an offer on the house, so you've got the listing agent in your CRM here. So Realvolve creates a party of people and then milestones and then series of tasks that need to happen around that. This is the coolest automation you've ever seen, I promise. This does work for you. This would do the work of your assistant if you're at this stage in a contract to close. So you set the home inspection date and time in the system here. And now we have a milestone date. It's home inspection on October 25th. What Realvolve does now automatically, without you lifting a finger, it's going to remind all of those people that we just talked about here. You, the clients, the inspector, and the listing agent are going to get an email and a text message saying, don't forget to show up tomorrow at, and then it inserts the property address automatically. And then then the home inspection takes place. 2 days later, Realvolve is going to remind you to double check for that inspection report. If you don't have it, you can check a little box in Realvolve and it pings the inspector. Hey, thanks so much for coming out to property XYZ the other day. When do you think I can expect that report? And then it'll remind you to double check for that every 24 hours. And then once you get the report back, if the report's clean, you check a box that says clean report, Realvolve moves on to the next step. If you need to negotiate any repairs or any other due diligence that needs to happen, that can be all scripted out and reminded. And then of course we can take a different direction on the automation. So as you can see, this automation would do a lot of work for you, be emailing people for you. Now, I have a question. Is that a work of art? Is that all anticipated, relevant, and timely? Is that going to feel like robotic communication to anybody involved? Absolutely not. Everybody involved is going to feel like you, the person at the helm in Realvolve, they're going to feel like you are in complete control of every detail. The amount of trust, the amount of appreciation everybody's going to have. Anytime there's contractors involved, the agents on the other side, the title, the mortgage, they're going to be communicated every step of a transaction with that anticipated, relevant, timely communication from you. Now, this is a workflow step that would happen in a contract to close situation, but workflows work for lead conversion, for past client follow-up, and I'll show you some more examples in just a little bit. But before we get there, the next question I have for you guys, because there's a couple of things that I can do next. The question I have is, which stage of the customer life life cycle do you feel needs the most attention with automation in your business? So when you're thinking about all the various stages of working with clients, what do you wish was more automated, that was more project managed, that was more detailed out? Lead follow-up, is it like pre-listing? Is it working with buyers? Is it keeping the buyers informed? Automating your contract to close? Automating your past client follow-up? What is it? Lead gen. So elaborate. What do you mean by lead gen? Keeping buyers engaged. That's a really good one, Chris. That's a tough one. And by the way, if you're a listing agent, I'm willing to bet that you struggle keeping your listing clients engaged as well. I bet you struggle sending them weekly updates. That's probably something that feels like a chore that you wish you had a better handle on. Keeping buyers engaged, lead follow-up, lead generation, nurturing potential clients, past client follow-up, past client engagement, lead follow-up, weekly updates. Okay, so most of you are not saying contract to close, listing automation. Most of what you guys are saying today is your leads and your past clients. Lead follow-up, lead gen, past client follow-up. Okay, keep it coming. If you have something else to say, make sure you contribute here. Yeah, multiple tasks from listing to close of escrow. It's a huge one too. Man, when you think about all of the steps involved, if you thought about your last listing or your last buyer client that you worked with, and you had to write out, let's just say you got pretend for a second you earned money by the task. Pretend for a second that every task was worth, $50 or something like that. And you had to go back and write out all the different tasks that you did. How many emails that you sent, how many documents you collected, and you had to write them all out. How long would that list be? It'd be a crazy long list of things. If that's how you got billed, you'd pay a lot more attention to each of those things and how many things you do. A lot of times we forget how many things are involved. And the more we think about that ahead of time and have plans for it and have lists and checklists and we're ready for it, we get this peace of mind where we don't have to live in fear of the details left undone that are going to bite us later. But I will say the answer that I usually get is it's usually pretty close between automating lead follow-up and automating past client follow-up. Those are usually the two things that people say, that real estate agents say. Listing automation, sphere of influence follow-up, past client follow-up. Yep. So, Christine says, I'd be rich if I got paid by the task. Yeah, so since we don't get paid by the tasks, shouldn't we automate as much as we possibly can? What do we really get paid for? We don't get paid for the tasks. We get paid for what? Think about that. If we're not being paid by the task, I'll tell you something. One of my first jobs right out of high school, I was doing newspapers. I worked for the San Jose Mercury News in San Jose, California. And it was a great job. I made like $2,000 a month. I was a contractor for them. It took me like 2 hours in the morning. I was really young. I was working with a lot of people that were middle-aged at the time. And I would get there I was the last one to show up. And this was early in the morning. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody else showed up at like 1. I get there at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd be back in my bed by 4 a.m. Take a nap. Then I went to my other day job. And the reason why I thought about it so much, but I was obsessed about making it really efficient. Get in there after everybody shows up, and I would be home while everybody else is still working because I didn't get paid by the hour. I just got paid to get the job done well. So sometimes we have to think about efficiency, and sometimes we have to think about efficacy. Sometimes it's about being effective with people, and other times it's about being efficient. The thing about real estate is it's rarely true that efficiency is felt by our clients. They will feel it if we miss things, for sure. But our efficiency is rarely felt by the clients. It's felt by us. How effective we are is felt by our clients. Now, of course, you can find exceptions in there, but the reality is that we need to be effective with people. We need to focus on their emotions, how they're feeling, what their perception is of us, and then internally, it's an internal job to get really efficient with our things. So, yeah, we get paid for transferring title from one owner to another, regardless of how long it takes, right? If you do it really fast, do you get paid more? No. All right. Yes, I grew up in San Jose, California, right near Milpitas, actually. Deal closing is what matters. That is right. So let's change gears here a little bit. I want to ask you another question. What is it? Let me pull up my list of questions here because I had a bunch of questions that I can ask. If money were no object, what's the one thing you'd do to improve your business? Now, I haven't forgot about your lead follow-up and your past client follow-up response. I'm going to get to that in a second. If money were no object, what's one thing you'd do to improve your business? Would you bring on your first assistant? Would you bring on an additional office staff if you already have an assistant of some sort? Would you recruit a buyer's agent? Would you take more time off? Would you upgrade or add another technology tool? If money were no object, what is your gut telling you your business needs? Think about it for a split second and then say whatever is your gut. Because money's no object and this is just a thought experiment. Would you bring on your first assistant? Would you bring on an additional assistant? What's going to make your life better? Would you recruit a buyer's agent? Would you take more time off? Would you upgrade your technology or add more technology? Assistant, more technology, hire someone to door knock constantly. I love that one. I was just talking about that with an agent yesterday, actually. Bring on assistants, all of the above. In-house transaction coordinator, a buyer's agent, hire an assistant. Okay, so assistant, updated system that handles all tasks, upgrade another management or a tool technology. All right, so as I suspected, I already knew that this was going to happen. Bring on my first assistant, bring on my additional assistant. Those are always the most popular answers that we get. So I'm here to tell you, if you've never hired somebody before, or if you've never had a big team, it's a lot more work than you think it is. That's the bad news. The good news is, if you think about this stuff ahead of time, you can bridge the gap. So what if I were to show you a few things you could do that would bridge the gap between you feeling like you need an assistant today, being able to get you 6 months down the road before you actually need to hire an assistant? So what's the benefit you're looking for from an assistant? You want moral support, maybe it's that you're lonely, but likely it's that you want somebody to help you be more efficient. You want somebody to take on the tasks that you know you don't need to be doing. They're below your pay grade, maybe. So you want to spend more time dealing with your clients. You want somebody else to spend more time dealing with things. So I want to show you a system that can help you deal with things that will make it easier for you to hire your assistant, easier to train that person, hold them accountable, make sure they're on task, see what they're working on. All of those things can be accomplished in our workflow platform before you get there. And a lot of this has to do with getting better at following up with your past clients and better at following up with your leads. So there's really 3 ways to scale a business. You can get busier. That's one thing you can do if you want to grow your business. More meetings, more calls, more hours. Number 2, hire people. So that's what we just talked about. Most of you said hire. The second, it looks like, just based on my anecdotal browsing here, it looks like the second most popular thing was add more technology. Let's see here. And Cheryl, by the way, yes, our program works with VAs. So we have 3 VAs on staff. We've hired experts to make sure that our system is really dialed in for a real estate agent working with VA or working by themselves. It's great with teams. And it works really well with some VAs as well. We've got some VA companies that work with us as well. So second way to scale, again, is to hire people. That's what most of you said. A Of course, it's extra money, it's extra time for you to manage them. Think about hiring somebody. It doesn't immediately save you time. It's actually it's more work in the short term. If you hire a really good person, in the long term, it saves you a ton of time. But again, that's if you hire the right person. You have to make sure that you know how to manage that person and keep them on task. There's always the potential for turnover. I want to talk about insulating yourself from team turnover as well. And it transforms you into being 100% lone wolf for some of you to being a people manager. And it's a different job description altogether. Some people don't like it. Some people like being a lone wolf. So you have to be aware of that. The third way to scale is to invest in your process. That's money for tools. It takes time to set it up. But the cool thing about that is it's automatic accountability. You don't have to worry about turnover. There's an infinite scale. You can always add more things to. So for example, what if you were able to automate 95% of a contract to close? Your listing management, your contract to close. If 95% of it were automated, you could add like 95% more transactions and still work the same amount of time. So it's a really cool way to scale your business. It's the best way to scale your business, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying don't hire somebody, because you might be it might be the right time and place for you to hire somebody in your business. You might be there, but you might not be. It might be a better thing to invest in technology now that bridges the gap between you having an assistant and what's actually the reality today. So I want to show you a couple of cool things that you can do to automate leads. So that's the thing you guys said. Lead follow-up and past client follow-up were the top two things you would automate, according to everybody today on the webinar. So with Realvolve, and I'm sure this might be true of your CRM too, but it's certainly true of Realvolve, your leads can automatically be fed in to Realvolve. Now, if you're doing door knocking, you can have it on your phone. We can configure it in such a way that you can enter a first name, last name, email, phone number from your phone and start a follow-up plan right away. If you're doing open houses, if you're going to networking events, we can automatically start follow-up right from your phone. Or if you're buying leads from portal websites, if you're getting leads from your website, those leads are going to automatically feed into your CRM, into Realvolve, and Realvolve is going to start following up with them automatically with these emails. And again, if you stay to the end, I'm going to share a little quick campaign that I built last week. It's a really great little lead conversion for buyer leads. So again, everything that we do in Realvolve is based on templates. You can edit the templates before they go out, by the way. So the cool thing about Realvolve is stuff can happen automatically, or you can take a quick look at it before it goes out. Some people, there's certain circumstances where that makes sense. If it's your third or fourth follow-up to a lead, sometimes it makes sense to force yourself to double check the email before it goes out to make sure that it's still relevant and timely. So automatic email goes out, then maybe you get an automatic text message alerting you that you got a lead. They can be texted as well. I don't recommend texting on the first message. I think the lead introductions are best done over email. You might work in text if you haven't been able to get up with them via the phone or the email. That's a whole different discussion. But then you're going to be reminded to call that person as well. This can be an email to you, a text to you, or just a task in your calendar or in your task list. So again, you choose how this happens with you. We have some preset recommended ways to build this out, but if you don't like it, you can tweak it a little bit. So you would see a little task in Realvolve that says call your new lead. It would have their name, it would have the lead source there, and then you could call them right from Realvolve. So you click on the phone number and call them. You can get your phone out and call them. And then let's just say now it's the second call. Ask yourself this, watch how this works in Realvolve, and think about how much different this is than the system you're probably using. So when you pull up that phone task, this is just a phone call task, right? Again, I can call them right out of Realvolve, or I can pull my phone out and just dial their number real quick. If you're using a phone system, it typically will work with a click-to-call phone system that you might already have. But But you pull up their details here, and then you get them on the phone. There might be 3 things that you're going to want to do after that phone call. You might have got a hold of them, you might not have. You might have left a voicemail, you might not have. So in Realvolve, there's options of what happens next. You'll notice the checkbox here, don't send a follow-up email, send a double up left voicemail email, or send a great speaking next steps email. So this is all built in ahead of time. Now I can just say great speaking next steps and click that and then hit run. And now it says it's got a pre-done email. It's addressed to that lead. The subject line's done and it's all ready to go. And I just add right here, I just type out what my next steps are going to be in this case. And then I send it. The email's tracked. It shows up on their contact record. And I didn't really, it shortcutted it for me. So I'm just saving this micro amount of times. But again, if we think about our task list, if we wrote out everything we did every single day, the 2-3 minutes that I save adds up really quickly to a lot of time savings, especially when you're considering day in and day out all of the things that you're doing. So again, I built this in as a phone call and I shortcutted the follow-up email, but this could have just been a drip campaign that's going automatically for me. Another cool thing you can do is, this is an example of like a contract to close. You always have options. You always have a plan B in Realvolve so that it doesn't get derailed ever. There are some systems that you might be using. You get to a place where there is no automation for the worst case scenario or for a plan B. Send a thank you. So this would be the scenario here is that you got a referral and you're working with a buyer. The referral came from another agent. So thank the referring agent, get the referral agreement signed. If you don't have the referral agreement signed, Realvolve can shortcut the referral agreement request for you and send that off to the agent. And again, we place things using merge fields automatically in the email. That's just how our templates turn into relevant, perfectly tailored emails for the person you're sending it to. So it's always anticipated, relevant, and timely, never feels robotic. So there's all kinds of things you can automate with Realvolve. But if you think about Realvolve as your assistant and you start writing out the things that you wish were automated, you guys said it was mostly leads and past client follow-up. We've got past client follow-up campaigns that go out 7 years. They can start automatically when somebody closes. When someone goes from a buyer client to a past client, or from somebody that sold their house, you just automatically, it starts following up with them. And it could be, like I said, for 7 years. It will automatically remind you to follow up with them on their birthday, anniversary, home purchase anniversary. We can automate that too. You can have everybody in your system get a text message on their birthday that says, "Hey Jane, saw that it was your birthday, wishing you a happy birthday from our team today." And it'll be personalized to them, and it goes out automatically without you lifting a finger. You set it up for your whole database, and it goes out. So again, lots of different things you can nurture, but the whole life cycle can be automated and shortcutted. Help you convert more leads, prepare clients to buy and sell, maintain and close those transactions in the listings, nurture your past clients. All of that stuff can be incorporated into our powerful workflow platform. So let's see here. How do we get knowledge of the new technology? I'm glad you asked that. That's from Kenton. So we have lots of different ways. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull up our website here for just a second. I still have a couple more questions I want to ask you guys, but I want to pull up our website. A couple of things on our website that I want to show you. So we know that most times real estate agents struggle with technology. It is simply because they didn't get trained, they didn't get it set up properly. Our belief is that if the technologies are set up and configured properly, and you are properly trained on those technologies, you will use it and you will get the benefit of it. We don't want to sell you something or get you started on something that you're only going to use for a couple of months. We want lifelong customers, and we want to be able to go to bed at night knowing that we are helping people save their time. Remember, for us, it's all about efficiency, because we know that the most important thing for you is to be effective with your clients. But the less efficient you are behind the scenes, the less effective you are with your clients, because you don't have time and you're running crazy and you're living in fear of all these details and all this juggling that you have to do. How many of us feel guilty that we don't do as good of a job with our leads and with our past clients as we should? And how much does that kill our motivation in every area of our business? So what we want to do is make sure you get it configured, make sure you get trained. And there's lots of different levels of that. And so as I go through these, just think about yourself and where you fit. What's the best style for you? Not what's the cheapest thing, because cheap is not always the best. We're interested in what's going to make you the best agent you can be in the short term so that you can achieve your longer term goals. So the first thing that I wanted to show you is we've got these awesome videos that our Chief Innovation Officer put together. They're really easy to follow. They're broken out into chapters. There's about 6 different modules, and these are all bite-sized. Some of them are 1.5 minutes, some of them are 7.5 minutes, but they're all pretty bite-sized, and they're broken out by category and chapter. So we've got videos on everything. We've got downloads on everything. So this is for the do-it-yourselfers in the world. Some of you are do-it-yourselfers, and you can just kind of go through our training course and get up to speed. You might rely on our support team. You can submit requests. You can email us. You can chat with us. We have a chat tool inside Realvolve, so we're always standing by. That's if you need us to do it with you. So do it for you is the third option. I'm going to share that in a second. So do-it-yourselfers, you can watch those videos. You can read our knowledge base. And the third thing for the do-it-yourselfers is this: how do I? So you can say, how do I add a contact? Now watch this. I get these pop-ups that just show me exactly what to click on. Click contact from the pop-up. Okay, I clicked on contact. It's just going to tell me exactly what to do. Type the contact. So there's everything in our system has walkthroughs like this. We've taken a lot of time, very meticulously, put everything in there for you do-it-yourselfers. Now, if you want us to do it with you, like I said, we've got submit support tickets. You can chat with us. And we have what's called our Fast Start program. It's a really affordable program to give you a one-on-one orientation, help you get your database transferred into Realvolve, help you understand where everything is. We'll go through 2 or 3 phone calls one-on-one with you and your team and get you up to speed. So your leads are feeding in, your database is in Realvolve, and you understand how to work everything. And then that third option is we do a lot of it for you. So it's still going to require your direction, but we have a 6-week program. It's our customization program. It's gaining in popularity. We can barely keep up. So many people want this. We configure everything for you. We assign a virtual assistant, a transaction coordinator, somebody experienced. Matter of fact, some of the people that we hire are licensed real estate agents, so they understand how your job works. They've been real estate agents before or transaction coordinators before. And they configure maybe 12 to 14 different automation workflows for every stage of your business. Like I shared before, depending on what you want to emphasize in your business, our customization experts, our virtual assistants, transaction coordinators, whatever you want to call them, will spend 6 weeks on your business configuring this for you, setting it all up, making sure you know how to run the workflows, which is the easy part. So that you can, when you get a new buyer in, for example, you just say, run my buyer workflow, and all that automation starts for you. So whether you already have office staff and you're wanting to take it to the next level, or if you are looking to hire your first office staff, it's the perfect time to configure all of this to get ready for the next phase of your business. By the way, we've got people running 10 transactions a year out of Realvolve. We have some teams running 400 transactions a year out of Realvolve. One of our clients that we work with the most, Krista Mayshore, she did the last webinar with us in conjunction with the California Association of REALTORS. She did 151 transactions, 90% of those were listings, and she went on every single listing appointment. She actually let go one of her 30-hour-a-week assistants after she got Realvolve configured because it helped her save so much time through task management and automating a lot of those tasks, a lot of those processes that she was having to do manually. So it's a huge time savings. If you ask her what the ROI was on it, I mean, holy moly, it's not even close. Realvolve paid for itself in the first week probably for her and her team. So I want to get to a couple of questions. I see some questions coming in already. I want to get to those questions. I want to ask you one more question, and then I want to let you guys know how to find us, how to get in touch with us, how to find out more about us if you're wanting more information. Ronnie asked, could you track the email that you sent out? How many email opens and links that they click on in the email? Yes, we use a full-blown email tracking system. So when the emails go out, they come from you, the replies go back to your regular email just like they normally would, but they're also tracked in the CRM. It shows you which emails you've sent to which clients and if they've opened them. We also track the performance of email templates. So if you're using a lead conversion email workflow and you're sending it out to all your leads, you can look back on the year and say, which of my emails performed the best overall, and that helps you get better. I would like easier access to templates and the ability to pull them up quickly using them efficiently. Yeah, so there's, we have a full-blown template system with HTML, but it's also pretty simple. If you know how to write documents in Word, you can create these emails in Realvolve. But we've built it so that if you want to add some marketing emails in there, you can. So it's a full-blown HTML editor. But man, we've got our templates, a template library in there, including text message templates, email templates, and print templates. So something cool you can do with Realvolve is you can build out a letter that you want to send to people. You can select 30 or 40 people by zip code, for example, and Realvolve will create you PDF documents that you can print and mail. You can print the mailing labels out of Realvolve and these letters, and it inserts the merge field. So it would be hand addressed to everybody. You can pull information in like their home purchase anniversary date or anything pertinent to them, their anniversary, whatever you want. It'll automatically insert that and then print you out some PDFs. So it's really cool. Let's see, analytics and conversion rates. Yeah, so we have the basics. We're always working on building better dashboards and better reports. One of the things that we're working on for the rest of the year is better reporting tools, but we do have some pretty good ones right now on our dashboard. So we can help you track where your contacts came from, how many deals you're likely to close, what your pipeline looks like, your year-to-date volume, all that kind of stuff. We even have team reports and volume reports. This is my sample database, so there's not much in here, but there's lots of different tracking you can do. You can even sort your database and save views. So you can filter your database by lead source and all kinds of stuff. So really, really cool stuff there. All right. Any other questions? Keep them coming. So, which of the following fears do you most closely identify? This is my favorite question to ask residential real estate agents. So I'm excited to see what you guys say about this. Because fears are a very interesting thing to study and look into. When you get insight into what somebody's afraid of, you can learn a lot about them. So, Cheryl, I see you just put a long question. I'll get to you in a second. I want to ask you guys this. With which of the following fears do you most closely identify? Fear of details slipping through the cracks, fear of change in the industry, fear of seasonal slowness, fear of forgetting something in a file, fear of rejection from prospects or leads, fear of not future-proofing my business, or fear of being responsible for employees. This is usually very one-dimensional. Usually everybody says, about 50% of people say the same fear. So is it fear of detail slipping through the cracks, change in the industry, seasonal slowness, forgetting something in a file, rejection, not having a future-proof business, or for being responsible for employees? What are you most afraid of? While you guys put that in there, Cheryl, rejoin the program. Mainly interested now in keeping organized with the paperwork. Okay, interesting. All right. I am a new agent. Most agents are using XYZ CRM in my office. How does your product compare to XYZ CRM? Well, I just inserted XYZ for the real CRM name, by the way. I would say, that the main difference between Realvolve and all other CRMs is how we think about automation. So our automations are much more sophisticated. There's a spectrum of CRMs. And on the one far side, it's just a repository of information. It's a place for you to type in everything and keep it straight and be able to type in pull up a client and find everything on that client really quickly. But it's all about your leads and your past client follow-up, and that's it. And then there's like drip campaigns and things that they can do to help you nurture people and stay in touch, and they can surface people that you should follow up with. And then as you get farther and farther to the other end of the spectrum, it's full-blown automation. We focus more on the full-blown automation, so there's a lot more automation involved with Realvolve, and we put the transaction coordination system all in one with the CRM. So you're not bouncing from one system to the next. It helps you with your communication, soup to nuts. Communicating with a lead, when they turn into a listing, we help you communicate with the listing, with the photographers, with all the people involved, the inspectors, whatever it is, agents on the other side of the transaction. Once the deal closes, we automatically put them in a follow-up campaign. And we know, by the way, Realvolve knows, were they a buyer client or a seller client? Did they list with us or did they buy with us? Did they stay in the area or not? And the follow-up plan is tailored to all of that information. So it's much more robust on the automation side. We really are trying to be your assistant or make your assistant 10 times better. That's what we focus on. Other people in the industry say, here's your next assistant and all this kind of garbage. I will go toe-to-toe with them on that claim all day long because Realvolve does act like an assistant, remind you to do things, send you text messages about doing the next thing, communicate with your clients about reminders, appointments that you're supposed to do, files, things in the file that are missing. I mean, we can compile lists of documents that are missing automatically for you and send that off to the lender or whatever to say, hey, we're still missing this, we're still missing that. So there's all kinds of stuff that we automate, and we're trying to make it an assistant for you. So that's our main focus. All right, let's get to the fears real quick. Fear of losing a detail. Fear I won't have enough business in the future. Fear not future-proofing. Forgetting something in a file, slipping through the cracks. Show us how to use it to call notes about them. Yes, Shannon, I'll get to that in just a second here. Fear of detail slipping through the cracks. Fear of forgetting details. Fear of forgetting something in the client's file about the property, comparing theirs to others in the area. Yes. See, so here's what I know. This is what this looks like typically. Fear of details slipping through the cracks. 50% of you say that. And then the future is usually the next most popular answer. So fear of details slipping through the cracks is always the most common response when I ask this question. So I want to share something with you guys here, and I'll get to, there's some more questions that came in that I haven't gotten to yet. But I want to invite you guys to get started with Realvolve. I want to share an offer with you. So if you start an account today, if you sign up today, it's $588 for a year for one person and an assistant. So if it's you and an assistant, you and another agent, or just you, it's $588 for a whole year. And when you sign up today, we're going to include this past client follow-up. It's one of our most popular workflow packages ever. It's a get reviews and a past client follow-up campaign. So what you're doing when you're signing up for that, because it's like $59 a month, which equals 708 bucks. But when you do sign up for the year, you're going to save 2 months off, basically get 2 months free, and we're going to give you this $500 workflow package. There's 93 email templates and 8 workflows, all about helping you get more reviews after you work with a client and helping you stay in touch with your past clients. So if you go here, we're going to paste this here in the chat. You should see it there in GoToWebinar in the chat, the URL. If you go there, sign up today, we're going to give you that for free. Matter of fact, if you live in California and you sign up today, I'm going to watch the signups that come in. Anybody that signs up, I'm going to install these, the lead conversion workflows as well that I talked about. There's going to be some lead conversion workflows in there thrown in for free as well. So lead conversion and past client follow-up, we got you covered. All you got to do is sign up today. It's $588. By the way, everything we do comes with a money-back guarantee. We believe in our product so much, we stand by it. We know you're going to love it, and that's why we offer a money-back guarantee. If you don't love it, give you 100% of your investment back. I know you're going to love it, and we're always here to work with people when they have questions, when they have concerns. If you have a challenge, something challenging that happens, reach out to us. We are here for you. We've got 3 trainers and 3 virtual assistants that we've hired just to help get new people started, or when existing clients of ours run into a roadblock, we will get on the phone with you and we'll walk you through that. We also have a support team that's separate for that, for little questions here and there. They're always standing by. You can get them on the phone, you can get them via chat, you can get them via email. So get started today. It's only $588. You are going to love it. I'm telling you, for those of you that said, I need to hire an assistant or hire my next person, this is a really good bridge. Like I said earlier, it's a great bridge because you can start getting a lot of things automated. It'll help you be able to better prepare for bringing that person in. One of our clients, Christian Nossum and his wife, are a team, the Awesome Nossum team, and they told me a story about how they went away on a weekend, and while they were away for a weekend, they got out Realvolve and built out some workflows. They wanted to customize some of their own workflows, so they put time into that, and then they hired a couple of weeks after that an assistant that had no real estate experience, and they were able to get her up to speed just teaching her Realvolve. So they just taught her Realvolve. We helped teach her Realvolve, and then she was able to run their real estate business for them because everything was all laid out in workflows. So I want the same thing for you. So click on that link, get started today. You got nothing to lose. There's a money back guarantee. Get started today. We'll get on the phone with you, walk you through all this stuff, and we'll show you how to get started as well. We'll make sure you understand all the options. We'll make sure to show you some additional workflows that you might want in your business. We'll make sure to show you how to get started with our training program if you want to, or with our full-blown customization program. We'll give you those options. There's no pressure. And if you want your money back at the end of that, you can do it. So get started right now. I'm going to get to some of these other questions. Is there a mobile app? Yes, Android and iOS apps. Really cool thing about the iOS apps and the Android app is because we've got a lot of the transaction coordination stuff built in, when a client calls you and they're wanting to know where everything's at and what's happening next, you can pull it up on your app and you'll be able to see exactly what's happening next on that file, what's already been done and what's happening next. Especially if you're working on a team, the cool thing is you'll pull it up and magically stuff has been checked off and done. And you'll be able to see that and not sound like a dummy, like you don't know what's going on. Let's see. Yep. Okay, I think I got to most of these. All right, so yeah, and again, if you're so some of you have said you're with Realvolve, or you're new to Realvolve, or you're just coming back to Realvolve. A lot of these questions, just reach out to us. We'll help you use it more fully. So there's a lot you can do with our system. Most people are only using maybe 50% of it, and that's totally fine. When I asked you guys the question, what would you automate? Most of you said leads and past client follow-up. So if that's all you start with, no problem. You don't have to feel anxiety that you're not using 100% of everything you should be using. It's baby steps. So get started. Bring your lead conversion to where you feel like it's 85% perfect, and then launch it. And then go to your past client follow-up and make it 85% perfect and launch it. And then go back to your lead conversion, or go to your contract to close and make that at 85%. Because by the time you get back to circling around to whatever the first project you worked on was, your new 85% is going to be better than your old 85%. So you're going to tweak one or two little things about your lead conversion process, and it's going to be even better than it was before. That's the way you really get good at automating, because what happens is you'll look back on a year, and I can't promise you that when you get started with Realvolve, next week you're going to wake up and your business is going to be all unicorns and rainbows. It's not how it works. But I can promise you that when you look back on 6 months of using Realvolve, or you look back on a year of using Realvolve, you will be able to say, I closed more deals, I saved more time, I made my clients' experience a lot better. That's our promise to you, because we will be doing work for you. There's tasks, there's details, there's things that the system will do for you. It's going to be peace of mind. It's going to give you time back. It's going to allow you to work more with your clients and less on the details. So get started right now. Can you show how to use the tool when somebody calls? Yes. So I'm going to pull this up right here. Sign in. So you can do this on your phone too. I just don't have my phone pulled up on my screen. But let's just say, let me see. Let me see if I have a, let's see if I have a Laura in my database. Let's just say Laura called. If there was a Laura, she'd show up right at the top. So let's just say Laura called and I want to add a note. I can say, just spoke about blah, blah, blah. And then I can check this update last call, and it changes the date in the database so that I know that I just got off the phone with her. The system knows I just got off the phone with her. Now, in my dashboard, I've got clients here that Realvolve is telling me to follow up with because it's been a little while. So it says, Jim Scott or Alvin here. It'll say Matthew. It says you should contact Matt. You haven't talked to them in 288 days. So in that little note field, I updated the last call date. Now Realvolve knows I just spoke to that person. Yeah, so the price is $588. That's for a full year. If you have more people on your team than that, we specialize in teams and growing teams. So the best candidates for Realvolve are people that want to have a bigger team soon, or that have a team. Those are the perfect candidates for us. And it's different pricing. It goes down per person, but obviously the overall price goes up. So just reach out to us, info@realvolve.com, and we'll get in touch with you with specific pricing for your specific team. And of course, we will help you with those different setup options as well. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer, if you want us to do it with you, or if you want us to do it for you, those are obviously different prices. It ranges in price from, no additional charge, just $588 to get started. Could be $400, could be $2,500, depending on the type, size of your team. We have lots of options there. So reach out to us. All right, any other questions before we wrap it up today? Now, I promised you guys, if you stayed to the end, I was going to share the follow-up plan. So what I'm going to do is there's going to be a follow-up email. It's going to include the recording for those people that missed it. For you guys, I'm going to include the templates. And if you sign up today, I'm going to make sure those templates and the workflow gets installed in your account for free. That's in addition to our, get reviews, past client follow-up workflow package. So you're going to be getting about 100 different templates for free. These are really powerful templates to help you convert leads, nurture your leads, and nurture your past client follow-up. And like I said, get more reviews. If you want more reviews on Zillow or Trulia, or if you want more reviews on your website or on Google, what can happen is as soon as you're done working with a client, Realvolve will follow up with them for the next week or two to ask them to get reviews. So it's really cool. Any other questions before we wrap it up here? So some people are asking if two agents share the deal, the 588 deal, do they have access to each other's data? Yes or no, depends on how you want it configured. So both are possible. If you're on a team, you can configure it so that you can see both, or that one of you can see both, or that neither of you can see what the other person's working on. So we have a pretty robust permissions tool. If you're not on a team together, it might not be the best thing. You got to think about that a little bit, but get on the phone with us, shoot us an email, info@realvolve.com. We'll reach out and go through that scenario with you specifically there, Shannon, just to make sure that it's going to work for you or not before you pull the trigger. Any other questions before we wrap it up today? Looks like that's it, Tom.
Super. Well, great job, Dale. And, I want to encourage everyone out there, please use the CRM, because I know back when I got started in sales, I had an Excel spreadsheet, but my Excel spreadsheet didn't automate anything for me. And I like what you said, Dale. I think the biggest thing I took away from it was just the peace of mind, knowing that it's doing follow-up. It's, proactively doing stuff to keep you in touch with the buyers, the sellers. So I like the peace of mind about it. So anyway, great job.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
So it looks like that's all the questions we have. And I just want to remind everyone, you will get an email this afternoon with a link to the recording, so you can watch it again and again and again, as many times as you want. So, Dale, I'm going to give you the last word. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a great day. And, Dale, you can say goodbye to them.
Yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. If you have any questions, of course, just shoot us an email, info@realvolve.com. We're really quick. Our team will respond to you really quickly with any questions. And then, of course, get started today. Lock in that offer. It's a great way to check it out. It's like a 30-day test drive. If you change your mind, we'll give you your money back. So, we stand behind our product. We want to make you better. Don't wait. Do it now.
All righty. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day.